Hi everybody, so today we're going to teach you how to correctly pronounce the names of the provinces and territories in Canada in English. So I'm going to show you guys a book that has each province and each territory, and my wife, who is Canadian, is going to teach you guys how to correctly pronounce it, okay? So first of all is Newfoundland and Labrador. You see here the flag.
It also has the national flowers, birds, and trees of each province.
That's right, and a place to visit. In this case is Trinity Bay in Newfoundland and Labrador. So how do you pronounce it?
Newfoundland and Labrador.
How do you say it slowly?
Newfoundland and Labrador.
Newfoundland and Labrador.
That's the proper pronunciation of it.
Yes, yes. Thank you. Next we have Nova Scotia. This is the flag. The place to visit that they suggest here is Peggy's Cove. So how do you say the name of this province?
Nova Scotia.
And slowly?
Nova Scotia.
Yeah. Next one. We have
Prince Edward Island.
Also known as
PEI.
So when you guys hear the words PEI, you know that it stands for Prince Edward Island.
Or the smallest province in
but with
Canada.
The longest name.
Yeah, exactly.
So how do you say it again?
Prince Edward Island or just PEI.
So Prince Edward Island or PEI.
And we say PEI as one syllable, not individually.
Yeah, I'm just saying it slowly,
kinda,
so
yes.
guys get to know. So we just say PEI. So like
exactly. So where do they say to go?
To South Shore. It's an
South
island,
Shore.
so they have shores. Next one we have
New Brunswick.
New Brunswick. To Hopewell Rocks. It's the place that they are here to visit. So, and how do you say?
New Brunswick.
New Brunswick.
I always had a little bit of trouble with the wick. Brunswick.
Yes. So New Brunswick, and they have a large community of French speakers there as well, right? Like Quebec as well. So, and next we have
Quebec.
Quebec. And of course, their suggested place is Quebec City.
Of course, Quebec City is supposed to be very, very gorgeous. At one time, it was actually the capital of Canada.
Yeah, I have an idea that it's a very old town, like with very old monuments and streets, and that very like 19th century kind of vibe.
It should be very gorgeous.
Okay, next one we have a very popular province for immigrants. Ontario. So here's the flag. And the place to visit is Niagara Falls. Very tourist place, Niagara Falls.
It's supposed to be very gorgeous.
So, how do you say it?
Ontario.
Ontario. And next one we have
Manitoba.
Manitoba. So how do you say it slowly?
Manitoba.
Manitoba.
Yeah. It is a native word, actually. I can't remember what it means, but it's a Métis word. Okay,
and the suggested place is to catch land the catch of the day on Lake Winnipeg.
Lake Winnipeg.
Manitoba. And Winnipeg is in Manitoba, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Then we have a very difficult one. It took me a couple months to learn how to say it, because it's a very long, difficult word to pronounce.
It's also a native word from,
but no,
I can't remember.
Almost 4 years of living here, I can finally say it is Saskatchewan.
Yes.
Am I saying it right?
Saskatchewan, yes.
Saskatchewan. So how do you say it?
Saskatchewan.
Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan.
Saskatchewan,
So,
yes.
faster. Saskatchewan.
I live in Alberta next door, so because we live in Alberta, we don't say the province very often, so that's why it took very long.
But we say the river, because here in Edmonton, we have the North Saskatchewan River, so we have to say the word.
Well, that's true. In fact, that's where the river came from, the name came from, because people came from the east and moved into the west. The first province they hit
and the river is
a very important trade route.
Yeah, and the river, the North Saskatchewan River, here that passes right through Edmonton, also passes through Saskatchewan, right?
It goes directly to Saskatchewan.
Yeah, that's
where it originated from, apparently.
Okay.
So,
out with the harvest near Saskatoon, because Saskatchewan is very known for their fields,
their grain,
agriculture,
their everything. In fact, Saskatchewan now is becoming an oil province, kind of like Alberta.
Yeah, but they're still very known for their agriculture.
Their agriculture, their beef, that kind of stuff.
So, and next we have the province we live in.
Alberta.
Alberta.
The province?
How do you say it?
Alberta.
Alberta, this is a flag.
And in fact, it's actually a British name, quite pronounced.
You want to explain the history, where the name Alberta comes from?
It comes from Princess Alberta.
Which was one of the daughters of
Victoria.
The Queen Victoria, which was a very important queen for all Canadians as well.
Oh, yes. Very pronounced queen, very much. In fact, no one actually remembers her husband all that much, even though he's very pronounced, but they remember her. The Victorian age itself is called the Victorian age because of Queen Victoria.
Not to mention that Canadians celebrate Victoria Day.
Exactly.
In May, right?
Yes.
Is it May?
Not all provinces celebrate Victorian Day, if I'm not mistaken, but yes. Especially Alberta.
Doesn't.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so the suggested place is to hunt for fossils in Dinosaur Provincial Park.
Yes. Actually, a very huge park. In fact, it takes up about 15% of our province.
Yeah, but Alberta is also very known for its archaeology as well as oil, of course.
As well as beef, actually, as well.
That too.
Alberta beef is always pronounced Alberta beef.
And then we have our province next door, our neighbors, to the west.
British Columbia.
British Columbia. So how do you pronounce it?
British Columbia.
And we also say it as BC.
Yes.
So the same as Prince Edward Island, we say PEI. So in British Columbia, we say BC. So if you're in Canada and you hear someone, oh, I'm going to spend vacation, I'm going to go to BC, you know, BC is British Columbia.
Well, the reason for that is Prince Edward Island, it's an acronym, and it just got shortened to Prince Edward Island, PEI.
It's just faster to say it than to say Prince Edward Island.
But BC, British Columbia, never became the acronym. We just got lazy, so we said BC, because BC just
So you heard it first, and Canadians are lazy.
Well, that's the way I interpreted it. I don't know about all Canadians.
So, of course, hit the snowy slopes in Whistler.
Whistler is very famous for those that like skiing. So if you like the snow, if you've never been skiing, I only went skiing when I was in high school and things, and I would like to snowboard eventually. I would like to take her and so we can teach. But for those that haven't, it's very famous. We also have mountains up in Alberta, Jasper, Whistler, things like that, that are also good for skiing. Now, what's the next?
After the 10 provinces, we also have the 3 territories. And we start with the one right above British Columbia, which is the Yukon Territory. Right, here's the flag. And how do you pronounce it?
Yukon.
Yukon.
Now, the Yukon has a section that connects directly to Alberta. And because of the Rocky Mountains, during the gold rush in the 1890s, Edmonton was a very good place to go to come up from Manitoba down in the States and go straight up through Edmonton, because going straight up through us instead of straight through Calgary was the faster route to go straight up through the Yukon and up into Gold Rush. They used that path directly into Yukon.
So next to it, we have the territory that is right above Alberta, which is the Northwest Territories.
And we don't shorten it at all. We just say the Northwest Territories.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
In writing, we just put NWT, which is the abbreviation, Northwest Territories, just to be sure.
But for writing,
in terms of address and stuff.
we short everything. So Alberta would be AB, Ontario would be ON. But yes, for writing, we do shorten everything, but
when saying it, we just say Northwest Territories.
So what do they say to?
The fly high over the Tanga Plains near Great Slave Lake. So there's a slave lake in Northwest Territories.
If I'm not mistaken, it borders Alberta. But yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Great Slave Lake.
And last but not least, we have
Nunavut.
Nunavut, which actually became its own territory in 1999, if I'm not mistaken. Yes,
I believe
because
so,
before it was part of the Northwest Territories, they became independent.
Yeah, how they became their own territory was people never really knew how many Native people were living up there. And when they realized something had to also be done, because Nunavut not only has a very rich history of Native culture, Inuit, but they also have a lot of other problems. And the biggest thing is they needed to be a territory in order to address those problems.
And to have a voice.
And to have a voice.
Yeah, for sure. So that's all for today. I hope you guys learn how to correctly pronounce the names of Canadian provinces and territories in English.
Yeah, and a little bit about them and where they are. So
yes, and if you like our video, just give us a like, subscribe my channel to keep updated of new information about Canada, and see you guys tomorrow in my next video.
Bye.